G'day, I'm Clive and welcome. Look at the Lanshan Pro 2, the new one, which is the 2026 version. Now it's brought out at the end of 2025, ready for the 2026 hiking season. Now we've got the specs all written down, so I can read through them first, and then we'll get the tent put up and we'll have a look around. Pack size. Now as you can see, I have had this out. Pack size, if it's rolled up and shoved in properly, they say is 34 centimeters by 15 centimeters, which is 13.7 inches by 5.9 inches. So that's a pack size done out of the way. Let's put that down there. What does it come with? It comes with the tent, 8 pegs, and let's get one out and show you what they are. I don't know if you follow my videos, but I've always said about having a one colour tent and then you get a different colour peg bag, but it matches, which I'm very happy with. And as you can see, a lot of flies today, so excuse me waving. I'm waving at flies and I'm waving at you. The pegs are the little normal 3fulgear gear. I call them like a propeller shape because there's 3 blades and they all twist. It's about 15 centimeters, which is 6 inches in length. Which, looking at this ground today, I'm going to need a little bit of a bush hammer. Find a brick or a block or a rock to get them in. But there's 8 of them. It comes with a couple of patches for the bathtub, the floor. And I don't know if there's any in there, maybe, but I don't know. It doesn't say. I don't know if it's going to be any good for the actual fly itself. And it comes with a seam sealing syringe, but no seam sealer. So you've got to buy that separate. Your footprint, your mat, your ground sheets, whatever you want to call it, it does not come with one. So you've got to buy it separate. Now I have the Lanshan 1 Pro, the older version. I have the Lanshan 2, the basic, where you can swap the 3 season and 4 season in or around. And I have a footprint for that one. But I bought a second footprint so I can actually keep it all together. So I'm not going to grab one pack thinking I've got the tent and the footprint and forget to grab the footprint. So that's why I've got the new footprint with it. Let's get some more specs all out the way, shall we? Shoe flies. Now it comes in 2 materials. You've got the sil nylon and the sil poly. Now the tent body alone, the weight of the sil nylon one is 900 grams, which is 31.8 ounces, or the sil poly one is 877 grams, 30.93 ounces. Now I haven't measured it myself, the inside. I'm going to make a second video about this, about a few different things, go more in deep with it. But online it says measurements are 270 centimeters by 120 centimeters and a maximum of 125 centimeters. Now the reason I said maximum is because they recommend between 120 and 125 to pitch it at, because it is a walking pole tent. So what's that in inches? It's 8 foot 10 inches by 3 feet 11 inches wide by 4 feet 1 inch high. We've done the pack size. Right, the actual N value, which is the strength of the material. For the sil nylon one, it's between 40 and 45 N. For the sil poly one, it's about 18 N value. Now, the 18 N value is more than enough in a storm or anything like that. Just nice and strong. But as you heard, it is a little bit lighter. And I'll get to something in a moment, which is couple are down on the list. Right, the aging in years, which is what they say the average or the minimum, I'm not certain, but they say the aging in years for the sil nylon one is 9.5 years and a sil poly is 3.5 years. Now that I just take as a, yeah, I've got tents that they reckon would only last 6 or 7 years and they're 20 years old. As long as you look after your tent or any of your gear and pitching your tent in the middle of the sun when it's 30-40 degrees centigrade and keeping it there for weeks on end, that is going to degrade the material a lot quicker than if you have it where there's shade and the shade's protecting your tent, or you just have it in the sun every now and then. So this is just a guideline, let's say. Waterproof. Now this is a bit I was getting down to. The sil nylon is rated at 2000mm hydrostatic head. Now waterproof starts at 1000mm, so the sil nylon one is more than enough to be classed as waterproof and to keep you dry. Now the sil poly one is rated at 5500mm hydrostatic head. Now I haven't written it down, I should have done. The sil nylon one absorbs I think it's 10 times more water into the material than the sil poly. So you know when you get a tent and it gets wet and it starts to stretch, that's what I mean. It's not going to come through, it's not going to wet you. But the sil poly is, how can I say, more waterproof. So if you've been in the rain, you give it a shake, most of that water's gone. You can shove it in your pack and you're not going to be carrying too much extra weight. So you've got your minimum trail weight of 1034 grams, which is 36.47 ounces. That's with your pegs and your tent itself. That doesn't include the footprint. And the UHMWPE reinforcement is used with the guy out points. So where it joins the tent, you've got the main tent and then you've got the reinforcement there too, which increases the strength, makes it last longer. So just keep an eye on them to keep them clean and do your best not to damage them or any part of the tent. Now that's the main things for this video. Like I said, in the second video we'll go a little bit deeper to explain a bit more technical, show you how I put it up, which makes it easier for me to put up. But this one, we're just going to take a general look at it, what the changes are and how I see it working for me. There we go, all done. Now on this one, the pockets on the inside here, where your walking pole handle goes into, they've changed. Before, they used to be just the normal cupping section here, and just a strap going around and up. And I found my poles were always slipping out, in and out, until I got them just right, and then I could tighten all the lines up. But now they've got a new actual, more like a cone cup, like a cone in shape. And the walking poles go in there, they stay in there, and they fit brilliant. Nice and easy. Let's just have a walk around the outside. We've got the same reflective guy lines with your, I think, the glow in the dark line locks. Going down to your loop they've got tied in them, which comes as standard. One thing they have changed I've noticed is this. The actual ram's hook, that used to be plastic, and now it's titanium. So it's going to be a lot stronger with very little weight. This here, this is that UHW stuff, the reinforcement. This makes this point here a lot stronger, which is where it's getting pulled on. The zips, as you can probably see now, there's no flap coming over, no storm flap. They've replaced them with YKK waterproof zips. So there's not an annoying flapping noise at night when the wind's hitting it. So that's gone now. Now you've got your vent up here for airflow. There is a mesh in there, which stops any bugs getting that way, but with a nice gap at the bottom, you can get plenty of airflow come through there. And a few bugs too. Right, you've got your normal lines here. That's the bathtub one, which I think needs to be made a little bit shorter, because the footprint one and the top one, when it's all pulled up, that it seems a little bit loose. Now I've got this set at 120 at the moment, and it'll go up to 125. But I thought 120 would be better because this ground is uneven, it's not perfectly flat. And as you probably saw here, they've got the line locks and all these to adjust it with if you want to tighten and loosen it. Now what they've got here, instead of having a separate line for the top and bottom, they've just brought it around, down, around the peg and back to the bottom here, which in a sense makes it easier. It makes it lighter, because you can adjust this, and if it's not quite right, you can come back down here and pull that around either way to get the attention. See, it's gone soft or sagging. If I adjusted it, that's gone tight. Now I can adjust that there, and that'll be nice. Again, we've got the reinforcement patch here, reinforcement here where the guy line goes to it to pull out. This elastic piece here, that's for a toggle that's on the inside, which holds your door open. And the toggle on the inside I'll show you is also used for the internal door, which is going to save weight. Same on this side. Now these things here, if you're wondering what they are, therefore if you wanted to, you could run a ridge line between two trees and add a prusik knot to it and tie this up onto your ridge line, so you wouldn't need the poles inside. There's not much more on the outside. Like I said, it's a nice pitch. I love this colour. Okay, what we'll do, we'll open the inside and I'll show you inside. And before I do that, see, there's the material we've got here, it can't be tape sealed, so you're going to have to get a silicone based seam sealer and seal all the seams. It's recommended you seal the stitching here, just in case you get any water coming through. And there, oh yeah, you'll probably want to do the bottom ones because they go to the mesh, even though it's not going to make much difference. But the actual mesh on the inside, which I'll be showing you, comes right to the edge here. And that just allows a lot more space inside the tent. Now this is where I am now. I'm at one of the campsites, the Mount Cook group shelter I'm at. There's the undercover area. Yeah, it's fantastic, this place is. All tent pitches everywhere, got some there, up there, more up there, more up there. All around, spotted around. There's a big giant group one up there. The one I'm on here will probably take 10 2-person tent, hiking tents easy. And the other one's even bigger. There's another one there. Okay, let's get inside and show you. Undo that, loosen that a little bit, make it easier. A little bit more. There we go, it's off. Get a tug. Now, whenever I roll my doors up, I've said it before in other videos, I roll under, not over, because if it does start to rain and the door's open, the rain is going to catch, let's show you here, the easiest way. The rain is going to catch on all the inside here, and run down the gully bit. So when you come to close it, you're going to have wet patches on the inside, and it's going to increase your condensation just that little bit. So to help reduce that, I just fold it underneath a couple of times, roll it up. And like I said, this has got a toggle which goes around that elastic band area, or knicker elastic it is, and that holds it really nice. I like that. With that elastic, it just holds it close. It's not like the old material ones where that just comes loose all the time. The zip is a T-zip. Now the old one used to be a J-zip, which would just come down and around. And now, unzip that one that way. Unzip this one. Roll this up and use the same toggle. But there's another elastic on the inside, which is level with it. So hold this one open to let all the flies in. Now that's normally where you'd end up being stuck. You'd stop there, but now we've got another one which goes all the way down to the other corner, and we can open that too. Now this comes in a 3-season mesh, which is a 15D nylon, and the solid version for the 4-season is a 15D solid nylon. So very little difference in weight, if any at all. This is something new to the Pro version, is this piece of material. Now we've got toggles on either side which will hook in there. I'll do the other side now. So now that's holding the sides up. I've got another line lock here. I'll give it a tug. Now that's lifted it up. Now that's going to be away from your feet. But what this is like a barrier. So if you do get any condensation, before it hits your sleeping bag, if your toes go there or your head, it's going to hit this first. So it's just going to help protect you from the condensation, from the moisture, from getting your sleeping bag wet. And if you've got a down sleeping bag, you don't want that to happen. But if you wanted to, you wanted more airflow coming into the tent, if the wind direction changes, you can loosen it off, and from the mesh over here, it'll just come in. Now, the mesh, like I showed on the outside, is actually connected to the end of the actual fly on the outside, and here, which is at the top of the bathtub. And it actually goes down at an angle. So instead of it coming down at an angle into the tent, now the bathtub is higher, and it goes down at an angle to the end of the fly. Now I did set this up yesterday at 125, and we still had that angle going down. They've got reflectives on all the little attachment points. So if you've got your head torch on and you want to see where this is to adjust it, add it on or take it off, it'll just glow with your head torch. The normal little pocket, and that's the only one in here. Doesn't bother me, ideal for my the case for my glasses or my head torch can go in there. Also have on either side is the hooks here, one in each side. So if you wanted to, where the loop is at the top, you can put a bit of cord through, go into the other side, and you can have a line going across. And if you even wanted to, in halfway along, you can tie a knot with a loop in and hang your torch from there, or your headlamp. All these flies, dear, all the buggers. Now, I got this specifically for the summer, but just to show you how easy it is to seam seal, in the next video I'm going to show you how I put the tent up, make it a lot easier for me. The seam sealing and why I seam seal it the way I do, and a couple of little changes that I'm going to do just for me. It's not going to make the tent any better than it is, because like I said, I've got the one version, the older version, and I love it still. I've got the 2-person normal one where with the 3-season inner, and I swap it for my 4-season inner, which I've been using over the winter now. And we're just coming into the warmer weather, so we just past the worst of the rainy season too. So this will be ideal. I've lost where I was going. I've gone off track. Yeah, so this is going to be my summer one. So the actual seam sealing isn't necessary. And I've seen people use it in showers and rain, and they've not had any ingress of water. But I'll still do it, probably just in case. Space-wise, it's big. Like I said, I haven't measured the inside. I read out what they said, but I don't know if that was a measurement for the tip of the fly on the outside to tip of the fly. But in the next video, I'll actually measure it and show you that too. Nice. I'm very happy with it. I'm very happy. Weight-wise, there's not much difference between this and the normal one. Well, probably, I think there's about 200 grams altogether difference, because you've got the second inner and everything. So yeah, this is going to be good for the summer. Okay, whilst I just chill out here, looking out into the bush. Hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please hit the like button, the thumbs up button, and if you're not a subscriber, please go down below and click on the subscribe button and subscribe, and click the notification bell next to it and select all, so you can be notified of all future videos. And if you are already a subscriber, again, I thank you very much.